Good morning, and this is Starting Monday with Shamee and Noreen. Noreen is with me in spirit. Obviously, we're still doing our vlogs separately due to quarantine, but as soon as everything resumes back to normal, we will be back to normal. We did actually want to come together with the social distancing, being allowed to see somebody, but it's very busy outside, so we thought it'd be best if we carry on separately for now. Right. I hope everyone is doing best way possible. And you know what? Now that it's 2 months in now, we're sort of somehow used to the new reality, because that's what it's succumbed to. It's a new reality, and it's understanding how life has transformed in a different way, and how we're having to, our learning skills, our coping mechanisms are all tested here, and oneself has to it's mastering oneself. And I keep on saying it, and I reinforce it. It's got a lot to do with our personal growth, because once you master oneself, you know how to cope. Your coping mechanisms increase within yourself. So though it's daunting and we're all struggling, and don't think you're not coping, you are. You're still here and you're coping no matter what the obstacles. So pat on the back every day. Tell yourself, I'm here, I'm coping. Yes, I'm struggling, but I'm still coping. And start to bring about things into your daily life, where I've been talking on my Instagram about yoga and breathing techniques. And yes, I used to stretch. I love stretching, but within quarantine, I've found that the time on my own, with all this time is fluid, and you've got so much time on your own, on oneself. And with my children being older, I do get the opportunity. So I'm sorry if you don't do this with your children. If you have young children, young children are always forever wanting to learn. And if you just stand and say to them, breathe, inhale, exhale. But if you can't, 10 minutes, that's all you need, is 10 minutes on your own to learn a breathing technique, to bring oneself back to breathing and understanding that I can actually relieve this stress. Because when you learn coping mechanisms of how to deal with anxiety, your mind space opens to a lot of other avenues. It's surreal somehow that your problem is not isolated as yours anymore. You actually you're relaxed, you understand how you can cope, because everyone's in the same predicament, and we're all getting very anxious, and the energy we're pushing towards or putting into, shall I say, into our monetary side needs to be put into oneself. So in this time, understand, yes, the money is a major problem, but we all haven't got the same money problems here. Some people have always been living hand to mouth, and imagine how they are coping. We look at our own personal self and feel sorry for ourselves. And this quarantine should be about not just oneself, but teaching your children. We've become a society where we're very dependent on materialistic things to make us happy. And maybe that is what it's all about, to stop and reflect. Or is everything that we've made part of our life really vital and important for our being? My daughter said to me yesterday, we were watching a program on Notre Dame, and she said, sorry about that. She said, Mum, do you know, in Sierra Leone, the poverty there is mind-blowing. And we were talking, and she was showing me what she delved into, because I'm always learning. My children, whenever they come home or whenever, they will tell me what they learn. So you have to put practices in where you're showing your children as well that everyone is not the same, and we're not all living with the same circumstances, and we can coping mechanisms, and we don't really need some of the things that we think are vital. We need to be compassionate. We need to be sympathetic. And again, when we're talking about sympathy and acknowledging other people, what about the lonely? I keep on reinforcing people who are living on their own, how are they coping with not talking to anyone on a daily basis? Yeah, you're going out for the 1 hour, but how are they coping? So let's just stop and be mindful of everyone in the universe, not just about us. Quarantine isn't about us, and that's the biggest picture, yes? So take this time to learn about yourself, take care of your own needs as well, but understand not everyone is having the same issues, and that is the biggest picture here. Okay, until next week, take care. Shamee. Bye.